Urologist. If you don't masturbate in old age, this will happen to you. Senior health. Have you ever felt alive, still breathing, but like you've disappeared from your body? You no longer feel like a man. You no longer feel like a woman. Just a body, slowly dying without anyone noticing. You think it's aging, but the truth is, your body is abandoning you because you've forgotten it for a long time. Today, I'm going to tell you something that many people are reluctant to mention, but everyone needs to know. What happens when you stop masturbating after 60? Not to be sexual, but to understand more deeply and to truly live. And if you're hesitant, I just ask you to watch until the end, because what you hear today may not only change the way you look at your body, but also help you reclaim a part of your life that you thought was lost forever. This is not a video about instinct. This is a journey back to yourself. Number 1. Prostate health and urination decline. Have you ever thought that just because you ignore a seemingly small action, but extremely natural and necessary for the body, you may have to pay the price with your physiological health, urinary control, and even happiness in old age? An elderly man once shared that he had to go under the knife just because he forgot to take care of his prostate health properly. The story sounds simple, but the consequences are extremely serious. And what he forgot was regular ejaculation. There is a simple but often overlooked medical truth. When you do not ejaculate for a long time, especially in middle age and beyond, the secretions from the prostate gland that are not released will stagnate. And that stagnation is the ideal place for bacteria to grow, leading to prostatitis, prostate enlargement, causing you to face extremely uncomfortable symptoms such as frequent urination at night, burning when urinating, and a feeling of constant tension in the lower abdomen. These symptoms are not only inconvenient, but also seriously affect your sleep quality, mood, and daily life. Are you waking up many times during the night just to go to the toilet? Do you feel uncomfortable when urinating continuously? Are you silently suffering from vaginal problems without daring to speak up because of embarrassment or thinking, I'm old so it's a normal? Ask yourself, is it really normal, or is it a sign that your body needs proper care? The prostate is one of the most neglected organs when you pass the age of 50, even though it directly affects your physiological health and quality of life. Dr. Mohit Khera, a leading urologist in the United States, once said, if you do not maintain the regular operation of the reproductive system, that system will gradually break down like a machine that has not been used for a long time. This statement, although simple, is deeply alarming. Regular ejaculation is not only a physiological issue, but also a natural mechanism that helps maintain the male reproductive system. Similar to having to exercise to avoid muscle atrophy, you also need to keep the prostate gland active regularly to avoid inflammation and hypertrophy. Embarrassment or moral concepts should not be a barrier when you are choosing between health and prejudice. There is a famous quote by Voltaire, I have decided to become healthy, it is a choice. So what will you choose? Choose to ignore your body's voice, or choose to act to maintain health and the freedom to enjoy old age? Remember, no one grows old just because of age, but because they stop taking care of themselves from the smallest things. So don't wait until you are lying on a hospital bed to realize that the simple things you used to take for granted are the key to maintaining health. Let yourself live more fully, healthily, and freely every day by taking proper care of the seemingly silent things. And are you right now ready to listen to the voice from within your body? If you've ever lost touch with your body, with your emotions, with your self-worth, comment, I'm coming back to myself. Number 2, memory loss, forgetfulness. Lack of clarity. Have you ever wondered, are my recent absent-mindedness, forgetfulness, and foggy-headedness really just a sign of aging? Or is it your body's silent warning that you're missing something essential? Not a drug, not a food, but a natural stimulant for the nervous system? In many cases, memory loss, lack of clarity, or the feeling of brain fatigue, does not come from aging as we think, but from a deficiency of dopamine and serotonin, two important neurotransmitters that nourish emotions, maintain mental clarity, and the ability to concentrate. When they are not produced regularly, the brain is like an unwatered garden, dry, sluggish, and gloomy. And one of the simple, natural, and little-known mechanisms to reactivate that water source is masturbation, when done correctly, at the right time, and for the right purpose. You may feel strange, even hesitant to hear this. But the truth is, masturbation is not only a physiological behavior, but also a way to maintain mental health in middle age and old age. According to Dr. Mohit Khera, a urologist and men's health expert with more than 30 years of experience, stopping masturbation in old age can cause you to face a series of consequences: sleep disorders, reduced immunity, mild depression, a feeling of emptiness, and loss of connection with yourself. When you ignore this activity for too long, the body will no longer stimulate the pituitary gland to produce happy hormones such as oxytocin or endorphins. This not only makes you sad, but also reduces the flexibility of the brain, a very important factor to fight against neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's. Remember, a mind that is no longer moving is a mind that is growing old too soon. Carl Jung's reminder is still valid in modern times. So the question is not how old are you, but are you living in accordance with your own mechanism? Are you listening to the signals from your body? Or are you ignoring them with the familiar excuse, I am old, so this is normal? The truth is that old age is not a time to let go of emotions, but a time to pay more attention than ever to being mindful and connected to yourself, both physically and mentally. Just imagine, every time you activate your body with healthy pleasure, you not only improve blood circulation, increase oxygen to the brain, but also help maintain creativity, memory, and positive emotions. As the philosopher Voltaire said, we do not stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. And sometimes playing here is nothing more than conscious self-love. Of course, masturbation is not the only solution. But if you ever feel foggy-headed, unmotivated, lacking in vitality, ask yourself, have you lost a deep connection with your body? And is it possible to start again with something small but powerful, like you did when you were young? Ultimately, no one else but you can choose to live a wise, clear, and inspired old age. So what will you choose today? To continue to let your brain wither in silence, or to rekindle the flow of life with a simple but loving act for yourself? What is your body telling you? Don't wait until it screams to listen. A wake-up call just for you today. Number 3, silent depression and the feeling of losing yourself. No more joy, no more sadness, just a silent void that is hard to name. It is not just ordinary fatigue. It is a form of silent depression, a loss of self that many older people are facing without knowing it. A man once shared in tears, "I no longer see who I am. Everything I used to like, love, and be passionate about is now gone. I am just a walking corpse, without goals, without emotions." You see, as we age, there are physiological changes that take place quietly, but have a very profound impact. One of the less talked about factors is the decline in sexual activity, not because of a loss of desire, but because of the misconception that, at this age, there is nothing left to think about. But did you know that not touching yourself, both literally and figuratively, is the beginning of losing your connection with your body and soul? Science has shown that sexual activity, including masturbation, helps activate happy hormones such as dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, which play a key role in maintaining positive emotions, deep sleep, and cardiovascular health. When you cut off this source of nourishment, you not only lose pleasure, but also gradually lose meaning and energy for life. Dr. Mohit Khera, a famous American urologist, once affirmed, "If you no longer take care of your sex life after the age of 60, your body will start to decline without you even knowing it." And the scariest thing is the feeling of losing yourself. It doesn't come overnight. It creeps in, little by little. Every morning you wake up without seeing any reason to get out of bed. Every night you lie down and you have no hope for tomorrow. Do you remember the last time you laughed heartily? The last time your heart fluttered at something small, but enough to make you feel alive? Taking care of your health is more than taking your medication on time or going for regular checkups. It is also about reconnecting with your deepest feelings, both physical and mental. Don't underestimate the power of releasing your energy, reigniting your life force. Don't deny yourself self-love just because of the number on your birth certificate. You don't stop playing because you grow old. You grow old because you stop playing. George Bernard Shaw once said, and it has never been more true than now. Ask yourself, are you living or just existing? Are you feeling or are you just following a listless routine? And if you've ever felt yourself disappearing from your own life, this is your wake-up call. Don't wait until your body screams in pain to listen. Go back to yourself, starting with the smallest things, a touch, a caress, a moment of quiet honesty with yourself, because no one deserves to live in emptiness, especially you. Number 4, chronic insomnia, drug dependence. A patient once shared with his doctor that for months he could not sleep deeply and had to rely on sleeping pills to get a few hours of rest. But the pills did not cure the root cause. Every night he woke up in the middle of the night, anxious for no reason, feeling like his body was missing something that he could not even identify, until he decided to touch himself again, literally, and the miracle happened. Sleep returned naturally, gently, as if it had never been disturbed. Did you know that when we stimulate ourselves, properly, safely, and consciously, the body will release important hormones such as oxytocin and prolactin? These are two substances that help calm the nervous system, reduce stress, relax the body, and lead you into deep sleep, like a biological sleeping pill without any side effects. Without them, your nervous system remains in a state of warm-up, waking you up in the middle of the night, short of breath, restless, and feeling increasingly tired. We have lived our whole lives for others, for our children, for our obligations. But when do you really ask yourself, have I taken care of my own needs? Is it because of fear of social prejudice? Because of guilt that you deny a natural part of yourself? As Sigmund Freud once said, sexual health is not a luxury, but a fundamental part of happiness. Old age is not the end of physiological needs, but an opportunity for us to have a mature and loving dialogue with our own bodies. Not for desire, but for connection. Not for selfishness, but for recovery. Try asking yourself, if you don't take care of yourself, who will? You deserve restful sleep, a peaceful mind, and a light body. And sometimes it starts with having the courage to accept the little things, but the truth. What is your body telling you? Don't wait until it screams to listen. Have you ever experienced this feeling of constant insomnia? Share your story in the comments. Who knows, someone might need your inspiration. If you find this message meaningful, don't forget to share the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss out on tips to stay healthy, mindful, and happy at any age. Number 5, weak pelvic floor, poor blood circulation. When you stop stimulating activities in the pelvic area, such as masturbation or sex, the muscle groups in this area gradually weaken. And once the pelvic floor weakens, you may encounter seemingly unrelated problems, such as urinary incontinence, difficulty controlling the bladder, staggering, and loss of balance. Do you know why this is dangerous? Because it not only makes you feel uncomfortable in your daily activities, but also directly affects your quality of life, self-esteem, and independence, the most precious things when we enter old age. According to Dr. Mohit Khera, a urologist and men's health expert with more than 30 years of experience, maintaining sexual health in old age is not a luxury, but an essential part of maintaining mental clarity, cardiovascular health, immune system, and personal emotions. Ask yourself, have you ever felt tired easily, had muscle weakness, or lost confidence because of embarrassing problems like urinary incontinence? Are you losing control of yourself every day just because you forget an important part of your body, the pelvic floor? Don't be quick to think that just taking medicine or exercising is enough. There is no activity more effective than maintaining regular, natural stimulation habits for your body, including masturbating properly. As the famous physician Hippocrates once said, that which is used develops, and that which is not used wastes away. What is used develops, what is not used wastes away. Masturbating in old age is not something to be ashamed of, but a conscious act to listen to your body and take care of your health proactively. It helps increase blood circulation, maintain nerve activity, protect mobility, and helps you feel truly alive, not just existing. And if you think age is a barrier, remember the words of psychologist Carl Jung: you are not what happened to you, you are what you choose to become. So what will you choose today? Wait for your body to decline, or start listening to the first signals to preserve vitality from within. Number 6. Immunodeficiency. Easy to get sick, slow to recover. One thing that few people say directly, but experts all know: when you stop having sex, especially in middle age and beyond, your body begins to reduce the production of some important hormones and antibodies. Among them is immunoglobulin A, IgA, an antibody that acts as a frontline warrior to protect the body from invading viruses and bacteria. Without it, the immune system weakens. You are susceptible to colds, coughs, infections, and recovery time is also slower. Not to mention, the cessation of endorphin production, the happy hormone, makes you feel gloomy, lonely, and even depressed. A typical example is the story of a woman in her 60s who shared on a healthcare forum. She gave up on herself for 5 years, no longer caring about her appearance, no longer feeling the need for intimacy, and no touching at all, even with herself. What was the result? Her body was deteriorating rapidly. Insomnia, frequent illness, memory loss, and even a loss of joy in everyday life. Until she began to listen to her body, courageously acknowledge her needs, and began practicing yoga, meditation, and healthy self-care for her physiological needs, everything gradually changed. I felt alive again, she said. I never expected that just by reconnecting with myself, I would feel like a 40-year-old woman. You see, taking care of your sex life is not something to be ashamed of, especially in old age. On the contrary, it is an important part of overall health. As Dr. Mohit Khera, a urologist with more than 30 years of experience, once affirmed, it's not sexual activity that makes you old, but stopping it makes you age faster. So have you really listened to your body? Are you neglecting an important part that helps you live a healthy and fulfilling life? Ask yourself, am I taking care of my body and my emotions? Don't wait until your body is screaming from pain, loneliness, and exhaustion to take action. As Socrates once said, nothing is more precious than health, and sometimes health begins with a deep and honest connection with yourself. Number 7, losing touch with yourself and your self-esteem. What does an older person look like when they look in the mirror, or rather, avoid looking in the mirror? It's not just a look of age, but a sign of a quiet withdrawal from oneself. When people gradually stop caring about their appearance, refuse to care for their bodies, and stop touching themselves, it's not just a physical decline, but a loss of connection with their spirit and deep self-esteem. The body is no longer a companion, but something alien, even a burden. You may not have thought about it, but maintaining intimacy with your body through behaviors like personal care, showing affection to yourself, even conscious masturbation, is a way to remind yourself that I'm still here, I'm still alive. When you stop touching your body, stop being curious about what's going on inside it, your body starts to send signals of loneliness, and your mind quietly retreats. We don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing, George Bernard Shaw once said. Older people don't lose vitality because of time, but because they stop connecting with themselves, both emotionally and physically. When there are no more moments of self-love, happiness hormones decrease, sleep is poor, the immune system weakens, and more seriously, the spirit begins to wither. How long has it been since you touched yourself with kindness? How long has it been since you gave your body a little thank you? A small act of, I still care. If you find yourself becoming a stranger to yourself, perhaps it's time to stop and ask, what have I lost? And how can I get it back? Dr. Mohit Khera, a urologist with over 30 years of experience, warns that stopping masturbation in old age not only affects physiology, but also damages the brain, cardiovascular system, sleep, and immune system. It is a quiet truth that few dare to say, but he says it because he knows that life is not only about the heartbeat, but also about the feeling that you are still a complete human being. In the end, perhaps Carl Jung's words will speak for all. Those who look outside dream, those who look inside are awake. Young people can live for their dreams, but old people can only live fully if they do not lose touch with themselves. So will you choose to live like a shadow or light yourself up once more? You don't need to be young again. You don't need to be like anyone else, but you do need to reconnect with yourself, not just to survive, but to truly be present in the rest of your life. Masturbation in old age, it's not something to be ashamed of. It's a silent declaration that says, I'm still here, I'm still worth caring for, I'm still worth feeling alive in every cell. If you've ever lost touch with your body, with your emotions, with your self-worth, comment, I'm coming back to myself. And if you think this video can wake someone up, please don't keep it, share it, so that someone can come back to life from the inside like you just did.